I have today the perfect sort of mind meld for you of two completely lunatic factions who have designated themselves coronavirus experts in recent weeks. You've got Fox News hosts, and then you've got religious nuts. Now, when I say religious nuts, I don't mean everybody who's religious. In the last segment, we had Catholic priest Father Murray saying, stay the hell home. No churches on Easter. Priests are dying. You've got to do the responsible thing. So when I say religious nuts, I don't mean anybody who's religious. I'm talking specifically about religious nuts. So on the one hand, we've previously mentioned absolutely unhinged Fox News former judge Jeanine Pirro, including her seemingly drunk broadcast last week or the week before. That's on one side. On the other side, we've talked about these religious grifters talking about sin is what caused coronavirus. Prayer is the solution to coronavirus. This clip today is a combination of the two. Top religious grifter Franklin Graham, son of the late Billy Graham, a family of Christian evangelists, was invited onto Judge Jeanine's Fox News show. And it is as wacky and weaponized as you could imagine. So let's get right into it. You won't be surprised. Franklin Graham says it is sin that has caused the virus. Judge Jeanine loves it. Let's break it all down. And to Jeanine's credit, she asks a good question. Why would God allow coronavirus to happen? She's not asking the question in good faith. She's teeing up a specific answer for Graham, but at least she's asking the question. Take a listen.
Given the number of Americans, the thousands who've already died, you must get questions like, why would God allow this kind of thing to happen?
Well, I don't think it's God a plan for this to happen. It's because of the sin that's in the world, Judge. Man has turned his back on God. We have sinned against him. And we need to ask for God's forgiveness. And that's what Easter's all about. It's about God so loving the world that he gave his only begotten son.
God didn't plan it. The sin caused it to happen, Judge, says Franklin Graham. And notice him throwing Easter in there. Easter, of course, sort of canceled since the country will remain closed. No doubt many churches in certain parts of the country will be filled with people on Easter regardless. So then Franklin Graham continues with this line of reasoning. And if you're watching, pay attention to the look on Judge Jeanine's face, like this is some incredible new idea that Franklin Graham is putting out there.
That whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but should have everlasting life. Jesus Christ came to save sinners. He didn't come to condemn the world, but to save the world. And if we put our faith and trust in him, he'll forgive our sins, and he'll heal our hearts, and he'll change the course of our lives. And this pandemic, this is a result of a fallen world, a world that has turned its back on God. And so I would encourage people to pray and just let's ask God for help.
Well, Franklin Graham, I don't think there's any question, but this is giving people a tremendous opportunity to be somewhat introspective.
There it is. If we trust Jesus, he will forgive our sins and it'll change our lives. And the pandemic is because we've turned our back. Just pray. Praying is the solution. So there are going to be people who see this and they will say quite simply, there's nothing wrong with this. It's a man of faith. And he says we must maintain our faith through the crisis. That's not what Franklin Graham is doing here. Franklin Graham is appearing on a channel that's been minimizing and downplaying the pandemic from day one. And then they feed to their audience a guy who says the virus is caused by sin and solved by prayer, and we need Jesus in our lives at this particular time. The solution is social distancing, letting the medical experts tell us what to do, work on therapeutics, work on a vaccine, science, and staying the hell home. Those are the solutions. And when these Fox News viewers hear Franklin Graham insist the cause is sin and the solution is prayer, they are more likely to keep packing the churches and potentially becoming super spreaders of the disease. And that dumb look on Judge Jeanine's face, like what a breakthrough, incredible breakthrough from Franklin Graham here on the virus. It's disgusting, yes, but it's not altogether surprising for Judge Jeanine. The message is, this isn't about anything other than people didn't pray correctly or they didn't pray enough. and it's actually flat out vile to be perpetuating that idea. What about all of the good praying Christians, by the way, who did die of the virus? I guess, according to Graham, they weren't praying hard enough, or their sins outweighed the prayer, or they prayed to the wrong God, or God works in mysterious ways, or what? You're not allowed to ask that. That's an offensive question to people like Franklin Graham. The problem is, in reality, almost the opposite of what Franklin Graham says. Too many people are ignoring science and doctors. The problem is not people are ignoring Jesus. Too many people are ignoring science and doctors, and instead they're listening to pastors and clueless presidents like the one that we have. And of course, this is a one-size-fits-all explanation for these religious nuts. Jerry Falwell, after 9/11, said it was the abortionists and the gays that caused 9/11 to happen. Others said the same thing about HIV. Oh, definitely sin was the reason for HIV. These are horrible people. They are only making the problem worse, and Fox News continues to incubate, for lack of a better term, these ideas. And unfortunately, again, sticking with the viral vocabulary, a lot of Fox News viewers have been inoculated against reason and rationality, and they take this stuff as if it were gospel, which Franklin Graham, of course, probably believes it to be. Unless he's just a straight up grifter, which he may be, in which case he's a bad person rather than delusional. You often can't really tell with these guys.